Hello English learners. What is conditional sentence type 2? Conditional sentence type 2 is a complex sentence composed of two clauses. The first clause is called the main clause and the second clause is called the if clause. It's called the if clause because it starts with if. There are two ways to write conditional sentence type 2. The first way is to start by the main clause, then we write after it directly the if clause. And here we notice that if is between the two clauses, separates them. While the second way is we start by the if clause, then we write the main clause, and here as you notice, if will be at the beginning of the complex sentence, so we have to separate the two clauses, so we write comma between the two clauses, and this point is very important in writing, so focus on it. The second important thing is that conditional sentences type 1 and conditional sentences type 2 used to refer to the present time or to the future time. But what is the difference between them? When we use conditional sentence type 1, we talk about general truth. We give our opinion in general sense, while when we use the conditional sentence type 2, we talk in the present time about certain thing or certain activity that happens in the present time. Let me explain to you the difference exactly between these two meanings. For example, if your friend is studying for his exam and he is worried and has much stress because he is afraid he fails in his exam. This is a situation that happens in the present time. So in this case, you can use conditional sentence type 2 to advise or to suggest your opinion to your friend in order to study and to succeed, because the action is possible to happen, is probable to happen. While in conditional sentence type 1, we are not addressing certain case happening in the present time, no at all. We are talking about things in general, not necessarily discussing certain case happening in the present time, like the case of your friend when he is studying for his exam. So when we say, for example, if you study, you will succeed, we use here the simple present, and this is conditional sentence type 1. Here the sentence appears as a general truth, because we give our opinion that if any person will study, he will succeed, and if he doesn't study, he will not succeed. While in conditional sentence type 2, when we say if you studied, you would succeed, we are addressing our friends who is in front of us, and we notice that he is afraid of failure, so we advise him to study in order to succeed, because he has time to study, and this condition is possible to happen, and the result, which is the success, is also possible to happen. So some people and some learners, and especially foreign students, are confused between these two cases because whenever they think in the present time, or when they think about the present time, what comes to their minds is the simple present. But in conditional sentences, especially in conditional sentence type 2, this is concerned with the present time about certain activities activity happen in the present time, and we are addressing a certain activity happening, while in conditional sentence type 1 we are talking in general sense, and the sentence will appear as a truth or a wisdom. Focus on this point and don't be confused between conditional sentence type 1 and the use of conditional sentence type 2. In conditional sentence type 2, there are two clauses. In the main clause, we use model plus infinitive, but the model will be in the past. For example, we could use would plus verb 1, because after models we always use verb 1, the infinitive, while in the if clause we use the simple past. So we use the past tense in conditional sentence type 2 to express the present time, and here is the confusion for foreign students. So focus on this point and avoid making mistakes. For example, we could say, if the manager invested his money, he would gain a lot of profits. So the action or the activity of investing the money is possible, and the result, which is gaining the money, is also possible, because he has the time to start his investing, and he has also the time to gain. So both activities are possible. And here I want to add something which is very important. You must know that conditional sentence type 2 is a supposition. What do I mean by that? It means the action that we are talking about is just a supposition. We suppose that this action will happen, but in fact it doesn't happen. So for example, when I say, if the manager invested his money, he would gain a lot of profit, but in fact he doesn't invest his money, and he will not gain any profit. The same when we say, if the student or if my friend studied, he would succeed. But here I suppose that if he study, but in fact he doesn't study and he will not succeed, even he has enough time to study and enough time to succeed. So the action is possible, but what we are talking about in conditional sentence type 2 is a supposition in the present time. It's written in the past, but it talks about things happen in the present time, and they are supposition. So hope you understand everything about conditional sentence type 2 and to use it carefully and without any mistakes. Thank you for your watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.